So day 3 was amazing, and it was so amazing that I got back kind of late, later than I have been, because I was there till they closed at 3. And when I got back, I put my bathing suit on and went down to the beach. It's a white sand beach with clear blue water, and I tried to do my video from there. It started live, and then I was getting, it just kept cutting out. So came back to my room, and that's where I am now. So unfortunately, you get just the room. So I'll share some pictures. The resort here is beautiful. And it's not that big of a beach, but it's a long beach. I guess, yeah, it's width, but it's not long to get to the water. And so that's what I did when I got back. And yesterday, after I got back, after I got off from doing the live video, we walked to the organic, healthy restaurant. And I keep forgetting to grab the name, but it seems to be like that's where I'm always going to want to go. And it's kind of funny because when I go to my treatment center in Brazil, when I go to John of God, there's a group of us, and the cool place to go is Fruities. And it's an organic, healthier place that has a lot of juices and healthy sandwiches and stuff like that. So we always end up there, and it's funny because there's the group of us end up there, and then it seems to be that the group of people that are getting healed together seem to be ending up always at this organic restaurant for dinner. Tonight, I think they're going to a Mexican party at the Mexican dinner, at the Mexican restaurant that's in the resort here. But my parents and I ate there Sunday night, and I just thought it was okay. Nice ambiance, but the menu at this organic restaurant is huge. So I like to go there. So that was last night. Just got back after the walk back. It's about a 15-minute walk, and after we got back, I just kind of relaxed and read a little, wrote in my journal, and then just went to bed and wake up, and my pickup is at 7:10. I had a busy day today, so I will do the rundown of what I went through and tell you a little bit about each experience. But I got there probably about 7:20 maybe, and picked my seat, put my stuff down, and right away was I had a thermography test to take. So while I was walking with my nurse, and she told me to call her Bree because it's easier to say, but her name is Brizada or something like that. I'm going to write it down, and then she's on Instagram and stuff, so we can follow each other. But she's a super sweet girl, and yeah, so she walks me to each different treatment that I have. And while we were walking, and we were walking past the reception area, I had this overwhelming thought or feeling come over me that I've experienced this before. Deja vu. And I don't know if it was, like I had the dream that I was at this place, and it was so real that I kind of had to take a double take and like shake my head like, wow, I've experienced this before. And I'm all about not believing in time, and like there is no such thing as time, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So and I feel like a lot of times when you have that deja vu, or if you're like, oh, I had this dream before, I dreamt this, I think it's just the universe aligning with you, and you're meeting up with that future time or that past time and experiencing it in this body form. And so that was the cool experience that I had. So I've had experienced this before, or this is just something that I knew I was going to be experiencing it. And it was such an unbelievable feeling. And then we went into this little room that had this computer and then this thermography stick. And after she enters some of my information, like I get weighed and she checks my height, she enters that information. Then it's this looks like a probe, and it's connected to the computer via Wi-Fi. And then there's a diagram on the computer of different spots that you're supposed to hit, and it does your whole from your head to your pelvic area, your groin area. And so she sees the spot light up on the computer, and then she'll hit, push it against your head, or like there's a spot here, and then like my eyes and just all over my body. And so she did that, and then I was like, oh, I'm done. I can, because I had to take my shirt off. And so she could get the spots. Like she did my whole chest and my stomach, my abdomen and my groin. And then she did each breast, which had a bunch of spots to check. And then I was like, oh, I can put my shirt back on. And she was like, no, we have to wait. She had to put the air conditioner on, and I had to get cold. And I got cold. And I had to sit and wait. I don't know, it was probably like 10 minutes. So I'm sitting in this little room with no top on, in the freezing cold. And she came back in with like a minute to spare, and she's like, oh, it's so cold in here. And so then when it came back on, we had to go through all the same spots again. So I will get those results tomorrow. And I know they can do that instead of a mammogram. And it's less invasive. It's less invasive. It's less toxic to your body. I know I was looking into it. Instead of I had one mammogram in 2014 to figure out what type of cancer I had. But I'm not going to get a mammogram again because I don't agree with them. Just doing a lot of research, and it's just how it squishes the breast. And if there is an inflamed lymph node, then it bursts it, and and they're not even that good at detecting cancer. So thermography is the way to go. Look it up. I was speaking with a woman last night, and she actually said that that's how she gets her breast exams done. And she's in the States, and she said, I think it cost her just a couple $100s. So it's not bad, and it will prolong your life. So I had that this morning, and then after that, I was going to get a chest x-ray. So yesterday, my doctor spoke with Tony, the founder of Hope for Cancer, and they reviewed my case, and they wanted me to get a chest x-ray. And so this morning, I had a driver take me into downtown Cancun, and his name was Fernando, and he spoke a little bit of English, but it was enough that we had conversation, and he pointed out some things along the way. So it was an experience that I got to see, downtown, and then I was in a doctor's office where nobody spoke English except my driver. So I'm in there, and they call me back, and we were just doing kind of sign language and body movements of trying to tell me what to do. So I went into a bathroom, and I took my top off and put on a gown, and then I went into the exam room, and she just put her body up to the x-ray to show me how to stand. And I stood there, and then at the end, I thought I could put my top back on, so I went back into the bathroom and put the top on. When I got out there, she said something, and then the driver said, no, I have to go back in. So I changed back into the robe, went back into the room, and then he was standing there. So Fernando was with me during my chest x-ray, so he could translate for me, and I just had to do both sides then. So I went up to the machine face first, and then I had to go back in and do each side of my body, so my arm had to be up in the air. And then he told me when to breathe in, and he's like, breathe in. And then he told me to release. It was so funny. I asked him if he ever has done that before. He said yes, but I don't think he really understood what I meant. So he helped me, and it was, I was pretty much in and out. It probably was about an hour, which I was glad because I didn't want to miss any time at the treatment center. And that's why I'm telling you, it's just such an experience, and I am just having such a good time, and know that everything all these treatments that I'm doing is healing my body from the inside out. And it's just, I didn't do the emotional recall yet, or I didn't, speak with the therapist. So I can't wait for that. Hopefully it's tomorrow. But so after the chest x-ray, I came back and then went back to my chair, and I was going to get my infusions, and there was a little bit of nervousness, and I was on my phone looking on like Instagram and Facebook to try and take my mind off of things. And Brian Duffy was doing a live Instagram. And so I was watching him and making posts, and it was taking my mind off of everything. And he's my boyfriend, and it was just, he gave a shout out to me, and it was just such good energy, that just watching his video and laughing, that it took my mind off. And it was not only that, there's one of the nurses who's amazing with the needle. Her name is Guatemala. I think that's her name. And such a cute little girl, and just she's just an angel with the needle. So a combination of her and watching his video, she went, and she's going close to my wrist, so there's not much meat there, and I didn't feel a thing, and it went right in on the first try. So I was so excited that, you know, yeah, I was just making posts and stuff like that. So just having a good time. And so I got my vitamin C. I got my B17 first. And while I was getting that, I was getting the PEMF, which is that pulse electric magnetic field. And I was telling you yesterday that it does, it helps regenerate your cells and make them healthy again. So, and it's that machine that makes me shake like this. It's so cool. And they do it on my lower back, and then they do it on my upper back. And after that, during that I had breakfast, and we had banana pancakes that were amazing. So Gustavo is the chef, and he does a great job. So I had that, and then they switched me out from the B17 to the vitamin C. And the vitamin C is about an hour. While I was receiving vitamin C, we walked over to another room, and that is where I got my enema today. So I will be getting that every day. And it's an organic coffee enema for any of you who are just watching for the first time today. And it's helping detox my liver and colon, and just getting rid of any negative cell debris and any toxins in my body. So the tube that goes in is so tiny, people. It does not hurt. It's just a little discomfort. And today was my second one. And so I was like, oh, I held it for 15 minutes yesterday. I'll be fine. While I was laying there, I felt the cramping pretty quickly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, 5 minutes have gone by. I have another 10. So I just go into a meditation, and I'm like, you know, the positive speaking to myself of, I can do it. And I know that it's just healing me. So as those cramps came, I just breathed through them and just held on and laid there. And yeah, I lasted the 15 minutes. The buzzer went off, the timer, and get up, you know, go to the bathroom. And then when I'm done with that, I buzz the nurse to come back in. And then, so this is all while I'm still hooked up to the IV to get my vitamin C. Then she gave me the, it's a rectal ozone. And what it is they put another little tube up you, and then it's a syringe of air. I don't know if there's anything else in it. And the syringe is pretty thick, so it's a big amount of air, and she slowly pushes it into the tube that is in me. And then she removes it, and then from there, and it's all in the same room. I had to take off, because there was just my bottom clothes were off. I had to take off my top clothes, and I'm going, because I was about to do the full body hyperthermia. And again, still hooked up to the IV, so she helped me undress so I can take my shirt and my bra off, and then it rested on the machine. And I climbed in to this chamber, and I was cooking at, the machine said 99 degrees. And the first, for 40 minutes, and I did 37 minutes yesterday for my first time. Yesterday it was only 88 degrees. Today it said 99. And the first 20 minutes was a breeze. The air conditioner was on in the room, and I felt a draft coming into this. It's like a cocoon. It looks kind of like an igloo. And my head, it comes up to here with like a cloth. And my arms are in. And I was kind of worried with the whole IV being still stuck in the tube in me. I didn't know how because my veins get plumped up from all that heat. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I to get me through this treatment, because I only lasted 37 minutes yesterday, I actually took my phone and I put the earbuds in, and I was listening to binaural beats on YouTube, and I put a 40-minute one in, and like I said, the first 20 minutes were easy. I could feel the heat, but I was like, oh, I got this. And then of course, they come and they check your temperature as you go. So like every 10, 15 minutes, they'll come and check. The first time she checked, I think I was at, I don't know, like 38 degrees, 37. No, I think it was 38. And then at the end, so the last 12 minutes were in so hard, and that's when my phone died. So I used my phone to help me get through that last time, and it died exactly when it starts to get hard, and they turned off the air conditioner. I was roasting, I mean, just dripping. So I started to think and visualize the sweat droplets that were falling off my body, that they were the toxins, which I know they are, and they were the negative cells escaping my body, and just kept visualizing the negative crap in me that is, keeping this cancer, giving this cancer energy inside this body. I just kept picturing that escaping and leaving me. And then it got to, I don't know, it was like 8 minutes, and they came, they checked on my temperature. And again, I think I was still just at 38, and they're like, and my vitamin C was almost done. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what if this is done? What's going to happen? So I'm trying to calm myself down, and they came in, they were like 5 more minutes. And then I was still meditating, and I looked at the counter and I saw 3 minutes, and I was like, I can do this. And just meditating and looking, and it was blinking. So I was counting the 99. I kept counting every time it would flash 99 degrees. And I was like, okay, each one is a second. So then I got to the 2 minutes, and then the 1 minute, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. And I was soaked. And when she came in, I was like, can I push the top part back? And she was like, yes. And so I'm sitting there just naked, drenched, with a towel on my head, and I just started to dab myself of the sweat. And she stopped the machine, and I just lay there for a few minutes, and she was going to get my coconut water drink that they give me, and also the tool, the stuff so that she could take out my IV. And so I probably laid there for 5 minutes, and just was so proud of myself that I lasted the full 40 minutes at 99 degrees, and I came in only at 38.5 degrees Celsius, which is, yesterday I think I was at 38, and that was at 102. So I didn't do the conversion yet. They want me to get to, I think, above 104 or around 104. So that's my goal. I don't think I'm getting it tomorrow. I think I get that every other day, but I did it twice. I do it when I get it when I do the vitamin C. So they gave it to me today because I had vitamin C. But yeah, so I did it, everybody. And then from there, I think I stayed in that same room, and then I had oh, that's what I had. What was it? It was the what was it? The far infrared sauna. Actually, I think I may have had that before the full body hyperthermia. Yeah, I had the far infrared sauna after the rectal ozone and my enema, and it was just, they just put the far infrared on different parts, and they did it on my front 2 clavicle areas for 20 minutes, and then I flipped, and they did it on my lower back for 20 minutes, and then I did the hyperthermia, and then I had lunch, and for lunch I had broccoli soup with a juice, and then another shot of, an immune boosting something. After that, I had, for the first time, I went into a hyperbaric oxygen. For short, it's HBO. I always knew I was going to be on HBO. And this is where I felt like I was training to be an astronaut or something. And I just watched Armageddon. So that's what I referenced it to. But I climbed into this this chamber, and it's cushioned on the ground, and I'm completely enclosed, and they try and get the pressure up to 40, and you're in it for a half hour. So probably back in 2008, I went to Bermuda on a cruise, and I did this excursion where you're on this underwater bike, and you have like a fishbowl on your head. So they pump oxygen in there. And it was the first time I ever, I tried the scuba and everything, and realized that I can't depressurize my right ear. So it's very painful. And when I was under the water on this underwater bike, I was like, the bottom of my bike was at the top of everybody else's head. So I still got to experience it, but it didn't get to go as deep as everybody else. So that was my concern stepping into this. And they said, there was like a clear plastic thing so they could see me. So I'm zipped up tight, sealed, and there's oxygen. I have an oxygen mask. And so they were watching me, and I was like, my right ear was a bit pressure. So I got to 31. I don't know what the number stands for, but the whole my phone's acting funny. The whole purpose of the hyperbaric oxygen chamber is it increases the amount of oxygen a person can breathe, and it puts more oxygen into your bloodstream, which can help the healing process. So that was how I did it. I lasted the full half hour, but I only got to the number 31. So I think I do that once a week. So the next time it's going to be my goal to get to 40. But it was pretty cool. I felt, like I said, I was training to be, an astronaut, or maybe now I can go scuba diving. But the ocean scares me. It's a mind of its own, even though looking at it, it's so healing and just hearing it. But after that, I had like maybe 20 minutes left, and I talked with the doctor. He checked out my ears, and he said before I do the next one, he wants to check my ears. He sees a little bit of swelling, nothing to be concerned about. And like I said, I feel like it's just me. I've always had this problem of I'm not able to depressurize my ears. And the whole time I'm like, to try and, pop my ears. I'm okay on a plane, but it's just going deep in the water. And, hi, Chris. I will be here for another 2.5 weeks. I leave the 22nd. So you will be getting these daily. So then I was like, oh, can I have my massage? So they rushed me, and I was able to have my massage. I had it for like 20 minutes. She just worked on my top area, my neck and my shoulders and my chest. And it was relaxing. So I went back to my chair. It was like I was the only one with my stuff still there. I finished my one juice. It was a green juice. I'm not sure what all the ingredients are in it. Hi, Amy. I'm not sure what all the ingredients are in it, but I saved it for myself because it's so good. And I know all the stuff that they're feeding us is all organic, all healthy juices and healthy food. I do work up an appetite here, and I don't know if it's because I'm sweating everything out or what, but today was such an amazing day. I had so many thoughts come over of different things that I want to do when I get home, and what changes I want to make to my website, and I want to do I want to do a podcast, and so it was very I'm so inspired, and all the people that I get to meet here, and I love that I get to share it with all of you and share this journey and share Hope for Cancer with everybody, because like I said, not many people know it, and there's so many alternative treatments to healing, and I'm having such a good time. So cancer isn't a scary thing, and I know that might not be what a lot of people want to hear, but I feel that I was diagnosed for a reason, and I am here to share this with all of you to not fear it. It isn't a death sentence. It is an awakening. It is just so inspiring, and I'm realizing so much, and I am so much healthier, and I can't wait till I meet with this emotional recall therapist and I can share all of that stuff with you. But one last thing, hopefully my phone will last. They show a video, and I actually got a link to it, so I will take notes and share it with all of you. But when I came to sit back down at my chair, and I forget, it was between treatments, they were showing the video. And when I sat down, there was a gentleman talking about the whole emotional recall and things that you go through and different parts of the body that when you're diagnosed with a disease or an illness, what it relates to. And right when I sat down, it was on lungs. And so I was diagnosed with stage 3B lung cancer in 2014 as a non-smoker. And I do have the HER2 mutated gene, but I believe that that gene is just showing, it was awakened by things that I've been going through or things that I have suppressed. And they said with the lungs, it is a fear of death or feeling stuck. And both of those thoughts resonate so well with me because I've had a fear of death ever since 1997 when I was in a near fatal car accident in a coma for a week on life support and all of that. There were times right after my car accident where I was afraid to go to sleep because I didn't think I'd wake up. So when I sat down and that video was at that exact point, it was a reason. Everything happens for a reason. You may not know the reason, but when I sat down and it said lung cancer results from fear of death and feeling stuck, and that is just like, wow, it's just so amazing. And then it went through a couple other things. So I'm going to watch the videos and I'll share it with you. And if anybody knows anybody that, they have and are interested and curious about this stuff, look it up, Google it, or send me a message if somebody has cancer of something, what could be an emotional tie to it. So I just want to say hi to all of you that have been watching and supporting me since 2014, and those of you that are just starting to watch me and support me. I thank you and I appreciate you, and you keep me going. There's a lot of times where I need inspiration, and you guys are helping me to keep going and keep this positive attitude. So thank you, Chris. And Chris, you were there for one of my chemo treatments. So you've been there for me for a long time. And we started with meeting each other at QVC back in the day. Hi, Amy. Hi, Arati. I know I'm butchering your name. We've worked together, and I appreciate having you in my life. Thank you for saying that I'm an inspiration and appreciate me sharing. Hi, Kathy. It's been so long since I've seen you. I hope work is going well for you. I haven't been at work all year. And thank you for those positive words. Yes, more people need to be positive because it's not, the diagnosis or anything. It's how you deal with it. Hi, Frank. Sending you much love. Love you, Chris. And thank you for sending me a message, Amy. I will look into it. I'm going to go eat because I am hungry. My parents were out today. There's actually some amazing stores like high-end, like Tiffany and Gucci and Louis Vuitton and Fendi and Lacoste and all of those. So there's like a tax write-off. So I want to check it out. Oh, tell Scott I said hi. You guys are great. I miss you guys. So my parents were out. They go to the beach. They go to breakfast and have fun. They're here to support me and they're making the best of it. But my mom the grocery store here on the second floor is all organic. So she got me some snacks that, when I got hungry, that'll tie me over. So yes, sending love and light to everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Share this with whoever. Tell people to follow me. I love inspiring, and it keeps me going. It knows, I was diagnosed for a reason, and it's to share it with all of you and to inspire all of you. So sending love and light. Enjoy your night. I just made a rhyme. And I will check back in tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Love and light.